So hello students, welcome to the last class of thermodynamics. In the previous class I have told you regarding the spontaneity of any chemical change. So the condition was like that the change in enthalpy for a spontaneous process the change in enthalpy, that is del H should be negative, because every system or every phenomena tends to having low energy state. Okay, because as minimum is the energy, the stability of the system will be more. And the second condition I have told you, that is randomness factor or entropy factor, that is the change in entropy should be positive. So del S randomness factor should greater than 0. So these two are the conditions of spontaneity. Right now we discuss that entropy change in physical or phase transformations. You can say phase transformation. In phase transformation. First one, that is entropy of fusion. Entropy of fusion, Rg, that is del H fusion. Again it corresponds to when 1 mole of entropy change, when 1 mole of solid substance converted into its liquid substance at its melting point. So very simply I can write del S fusion, that is equal to del H fusion divided by Tm. Tm means that is melting point. Similarly, other two can be defined like here entropy of vaporization, let's say entropy of vaporization, that is del S vaporization. Directly the mathematical expression can be written as del S vaporization, that is equal to del H vaporization upon, that will be boiling point, T be at its boiling point, 1 mole of liquid substance when converted into its vapor at its boiling point, that is called entropy of vaporization. Similarly, very easy, you can say entropy of sublimation, that is del S sub, when 1 mole of solid is directly converted into, here can define entropy change when 1 mole of solid directly converted into its vapor state, that is called entropy of sublimation. And you know this entropy change in sublimation that can be written as del H sublimation upon simply T, temperature, absolute temperature T. Again you know this sublimation is nothing but the conversion of solid into liquid first, that is fusion, and then the liquid converted into its vapor. So this del H sublimation can be written as del H fusion plus del H vaporization. Clear? So these are the expressions of entropy change in physical transformations. Clear? So students, as per till I have discussed regarding the spontaneity of a chemical change, so two cases we have got, major factors which are responsible in order to explain the spontaneity of any change. So that is first one, the change in enthalpy. For a spontaneous process, the del H should be negative, that means the process should be exothermic. And the second one, that is del S, this one should be positive, that means positive randomness, that means randomness, or you can say entropy must be should increase. But there are so many processes which occurs in which the del H is found to be positive, that means the process is endothermic, and this entropy factor del H is positive and this entropy factor that is negative, that is quite opposite, but still the processes are feasible. So feasible means you can say still the processes are spontaneous. So what is our expectation over here, that these two factors, that is energy factor and entropy factor, are not the sufficient terms to explain the spontaneity of any chemical change. So after that there is the introduction of a third thermodynamic property which could explain the spontaneity of a chemical change, and it involves both the terms, that is this enthalpy change and entropy change. These are this thermodynamic property that is due to the combining effect of these two terms, enthalpy change and entropy change, which could explain successively the spontaneity of a chemical change. Okay, so that thermodynamic property is known as Gibbs free energy. Let us define what do we mean by Gibbs free energy first. So let us define Gibbs free energy. Gibbs free energy. So definition first, it is the maximum energy available in a system which can be converted into the useful work, that is called Gibbs free energy. It is represented by It is represented by capital G. Mathematically, this G is equal to H minus Ts, where H is the enthalpy, or you can say heat content of the system, T absolute temperature, and S, that is the entropy. So this equation is for Gibbs free energy, which includes, you see, this is enthalpy term is there and entropy term is also there. By combining these two terms, the thermodynamic property G is expressed. Okay, so right now we will see the characteristics of entropy of the system. You can see entropy of the system. Right now we will proceed to its characteristics of free energy. So that is characteristics of free energy. First one, that is the absolute, like that of enthalpy, entropy, the absolute value of free energy cannot be determined however the change in Gibbs free energy can be determined. Gibbs free energy can be determined. Next, it is also a state function. It is also a state function whose change depends upon the initial and final state of the system. So what can I write? That will be del G, that is equal to dg integration g1 to g2. So that will be equal to g2 minus g1, where this g2 is the free energy at final state, free energy of final state, and this one, that is free energy of initial state. Again, this gives free energy also an extensive property, gives free energy is an extensive property which depends upon the quantity of matter present in the system, which depends on the quantity of matter present in the system, So these are the important characteristics of Gibbs free energy. Now let us derive the value of a free energy change. So my heading will be free energy change, that is del G. So from definition what we have got? From definition I have got G, that is equal to H minus Ts. Clear? So that will be at, that is for isothermal and isobaric process, at constant temperature and pressure. So for initial state what can I write? For initial state, or you can say initially, that G1 is equal to H1 minus Ts1. Clear? So for final state, I can write G2, that is equal to H2 minus Ts2. If I difference, can I take the difference G2 minus G1? That will be G2 minus G1, that will be H2 minus Ts2 minus H1 minus Ts1. That will be equal to H2 minus H1 plus H2 minus H1 minus, okay, let me write it briefly, that will be H2 minus Ts2 minus H1 plus Ts1. So that will be H2 minus H1, this one minus T, if I consider taking as common, that will be S2 minus S1. That clear? So this H2 minus H1 can be written as del H minus T, this S2 minus S1 can be written as del S. So here this can be written as del G. So del G is equal to del H minus T del S. Very important, this equation 1 is known as, the equation 1 is known as Gibbs Helmholtz equation. Del G, that is equal to del G, that is equal to del H minus T del S. Clear? Let us derive how thermodynamically we can get this Gibbs Helmholtz equation, that is thermodynamical derivation. Thermodynamical derivation. Clear? As you know, G, that is equal to H minus Ts. Again, this H, that is equal to U plus Pv. We have got it. This is equation 1, this is equation 2. Now put the value of H over here, that will be from equation 1 and equation 2. What do we get? G is equal to U plus Pv minus Ts. Clear? At constant temperature and pressure. So if I can write del G, that will be equal to del U plus, since pressure I have got constant, so P del V minus temperature also constant, T del S. Clear? So this del G, this much, del U plus P del V, that is equal to del H minus T del S. So this del G is equal to del H minus T del S. Clear? So now let us define how the value of del G helps us to predict the spontaneity of a chemical change. So next my heading will be spontaneity and free energy change. So this concept is very important. Here we shall define how del G predict the spontaneity of a chemical change. Very important. See, that is spontaneity and free energy change. Spontaneity and free energy change. ठीक. Suppose I am considering the del S total. So del S total I have told you that will be sum of entropy change with respect to system plus entropy change with respect to surrounding. Suppose system absorbs q amount of energy, at the same time the surrounding loses q amount of energy. Is that clear? So I can write over here, so del S total, that is equal to del S system plus del S surrounding. Clear? Let the system loses q amount of heat to the surrounding, Is that clear? So the del S system, I can write like this, del S system, that will be equal to q p at constant pressure, let's say surrounding at constant pressure, So this qp at constant pressure, that can be written as, that will be in terms of enthalpy change, del H system. So that is equal to del H system. Clear? So in the same time, del S surrounding, tell me, surrounding, that will be equal to minus del H system, that will be equal to minus del H system. This one will be the value of surrounding. Now del S surrounding, that is equal to, so it can be written as del S surrounding, that is equal to q p by t. This is the mathematical expression of entropy change. So that can be written as minus del H system divided by T. So this one is the entropy change with respect to surrounding. Clear? So now del S total, I am back to this expression, del S total, that is equal to del S system, in place of del S surrounding I can write minus del H system upon T. Now this equation can be simplified, T del S total, that is equal to T del S system minus del H system. Clear? Now what I need to do over here, that is multiplying both the sides or dividing both the side by T, then I will get, okay, sorry, in this expression you just multiply T del S total, T del S system, and that is del H system. Clear? Okay. So T del S total, that is equal to T del S system minus del H system. So here minus let's say I am writing over here minus T del S total, that will be equal to del H system minus T del S system. Okay, so from Gibbs-Helmholtz equation, we know del G that is equal to del H minus T del S. Clear? So here if I compare these two right sides of this equation, so finally I can get del G that is equal to minus T del S total. So for the spontaneity of any process, so the value of del G should be negative, that is del G should be less than 0, or you can say del G is equal to negative for a spontaneous process. Clear? Let us analyze the condition for spontaneous process by considering Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. Okay, so criteria based on Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. Clear? So that is del G that is equal to del H minus T del S. So first one, case 1, for spontaneous process what we need? Del G. For spontaneous process del G should be negative. Clear? And till now what we have discussed? Del H should be negative, energy factor del S should be positive, T del S should be positive. So case 1, if del H is negative, T del S factor, entropy factor, energy factor is negative, entropy factor is positive. That means both the factors are favorable for spontaneity. So del G would be this del H1, this one becomes negative minus, and T del S that is positive, negative minus of positive. So overall that will be negative. Process is spontaneous. So case 2, if I consider case 2, suppose this del H is positive, not favorable, that is endothermic. Okay, and T del S that is positive, this one is favorable, randomness factor is favorable. Then tell me what will be, what about del G? So del G that is equal to, here this is positive minus, and T del S is also positive, minus positive, the positive minus positive. So here what will be, in order to spontaneous process this del G must be negative. Clear? So for del G must be negative, there must be a large negative value should be T del S, so that the overall del G becomes negative. So here you see, so one is del H that is positive and T del S is positive. So one is favorable and another one is unfavorable. You can see this is endothermic. So in order to have the value of del G negative, that can be possible only at a higher temperature. So this del G is equal to del H minus T del S. You see this one is positive and also this one is positive. So if I consider high temperature, then the overall result will be this product becomes maximum. So overall result will be negative. So del G becomes negative, that is at high temperature, so that the process becomes spontaneous. Clear? So if at low temperature, if I consider at low temperature, then the value of del G becomes positive because this product value will be less. So at low temperature at low temperature the value of T del S will be small. As a result, this del G becomes positive. So once del G becomes positive, the process becomes non-spontaneous. The process becomes non-spontaneous. Clear? Again, simultaneously I can say, if del H is negative, that is for exothermic process. If del H is negative and T del S, this factor is, let's say, positive, both are favorable. I have told you, I think, here. So in this case, if let's say this one is negative and T del S, that is also negative, one is favorable, this one is favorable, and this one is non-favorable. Process is exothermic. Clear? So del G, that is equal to del H minus T del S, and here this one is negative, minus T del S is also negative. So here negative plus positive. So for this, the value of T del S should be small one, so that this positive value will be small and overall result will be negative. As a result, the process becomes spontaneous. So I can write over here, at low temperature del G can be negative. That is spontaneous. What is spontaneous? Clear? But if I consider at high temperature, then the overall result can be positive. Del G will be positive. So if positive, then the process is non-spontaneous. Clear? Very important. Again, if I consider this del G, that is equal to del H minus T del S, my assumption is both these factors having equal and opposite. Okay, if del H and T del S are equal and opposite, then tell me the value of del G becomes 0. So once del G becomes 0, the process is at equilibrium. You can say the process is at equilibrium. So these are the criteria of spontaneity. Clear? So I can summarize the overall concept of spontaneity by considering both the opposite cases, that is whether the reaction is exothermic and endothermic. Again, just see first one, that is reaction. If I write over here reaction, so my first one, that is exothermic, and the second one, that is for endothermic. Exothermic and endothermic. Let me write over here reaction. First one, that is for exothermic reaction. Okay, and next one, that is for endothermic reaction. Here the sign of del H. Next one, that is sign of T del S. Next, sign of del G, which should be negative, and here value of temperature, you can say value of temperature and spontaneity. spontaneity, whether the process is spontaneous or non-spontaneous. So for exothermic process, del H is negative. Clear? So case 1, again this entropy factor, let's say entropy factor that is positive, both are favorable. So what will be del G? Obviously it will be negative, because you know I am doing over here, you see here you can see del G that is equal to del H minus T del S. You see this one is negative, this one is negative minus, and this one is positive. So obviously the value of del G coming out to be negative. So once this is negative, and the value of temperature at any temperature, since this value is positive, no, at any T, at any temperature. So the process, since del G is negative, the process is spontaneous. Again for exothermic reaction, it's compulsory del H value that is negative, and T del S, let's say it is opposing, unfavorable, that is let's say negative. Entropy factor should be positive, but let I am considering negative. Then what about this equation we just tell? What will be the value of del VE? So this one is negative, it's okay, this one is negative, minus this T del S, that is also negative, this one is negative. So negative of negative, this one becomes positive. So once this one is negative, minus of minus plus some positive value. So in order to find out the value of del G is negative, this positive value should be less than that of this negative value, and that I can get from at lower temperature. If temperature becomes more, then the product becomes more, as a result del G becomes positive. So here this del G becomes negative, that is only possible at low temperature. The process is spontaneous. Clear? If I can consider again for exothermic process, this one is again negative, and this T del S, that is again negative. Okay, negative. So if this one is negative, minus of again this one is negative, then the second case is this becomes positive at, tell me, at high temperature. If I am considering high temperature, then the process becomes non-spontaneous. So these are different criteria for exothermic process. Okay, because del H cannot be negative for exothermic process. Again, let for endothermic process del H is positive, compulsory. Okay, then T del S, let's say del H is positive means unfavorable, and let's T del S is favorable, that is positive, and this one is positive. So you see, again you compare, gives Helmholtz equation, that is del G, that is equal to del H minus T del S. Here del H is positive, this one is positive, minus T del S is also positive, this one is positive, this one is positive. So for a spontaneous process, in order to get del G, that should be negative. So again, so this value becomes more, as a result overall will be negative. So at high temperature, if I consider at high temperature, so del G becomes negative, and as a result the process becomes spontaneous. Clear? So if del H is positive, again this T del S, again I am considering this one as positive, so this becomes positive at low temperature, so the process will be non-spontaneous. Again, if this entropy factor is opposing, unfavorable, so that will be positive. You see, this one is compulsory positive, endothermic positive, minus T del S, that is opposing, that is minus, again this one is minus. So in order to get the negative value, here minus minus, that will be plus. So for negative value, again you tell me here, definitely you will get positive. So that will be at any temperature, because overall positive. So the process again becomes non-spontaneous. Okay. Next we will discuss standard free energy change. Standard free energy change, del G naught. So this del G naught, standard free energy change, it is the free energy change when the free energy change when the reactants in their standard state are converted into products, at standard state. So standard state means at 1 atmospheric pressure, and I have told you at room temperature, that is 25 degrees centigrade. So this del G naught, that is equal to summation of del G naught of products minus summation of del G naught of reactants. This is the how you get the standard free energy change. Next, you just remember for your numerical point of view, the relationship between, that is relationship between standard free energy change del G naught and equilibrium constant K, that is called K equilibrium, that is called equilibrium constant. So its relationship can be written as that del G naught, that is equal to minus 2.303 nRT log K equilibrium. This is the relation where K equilibrium, that is equilibrium constant, we will discuss in chemical equilibrium chapter. Now another important relationship you just remember, that is with respect to electrical work, that is relationship between standard free energy change and electrical work, that can be written as relation between standard free energy change and electrical work, that is del G naught, that is equal to, or you can say free energy change, and write over here, that is free energy change, that is del G, not standard free energy change, del G, that is equal to simply del G, that is equal to minus NFE, where this N, that is number of moles of electron in the cell reaction, N we will study it in electrochemistry, number of moles of electrons used in the cell reaction, and F, that is EMF of the cell, Faraday's constant here, F that is equal to 965 coulomb charge, and E, that is the is the EMF of the cell, electromotive force, EMF of the cell. Clear? So with this I will finish your chapter thermodynamics. Go through that different conditions of a spontaneous process, under which condition. So finally the factor which is responsible to express the spontaneity of a chemical change, that is your Gibbs free energy, which should be negative, and this del G becomes 0 at equilibrium. If del G becomes 0, the process is equilibrium. If del G becomes positive, the process is non-spontaneous. Okay.